What up, y'all? Ghost here, and today we're diving deep into Left 4 Dead 2. We're dissecting this game, turning you from an advanced player to an expert, maybe even a realism beast. I've been on this grind since the Left 4 Dead 1 demo, mostly expert campaign and realism, so this ain't gonna be some dry tutorial. Nah, we're gonna break down everything: positioning, weapon choices, and how to handle those special infected. I'm talking about the stuff that separates the real OGs from the casuals. Let's get into it. Introduction to expert gameplay, mindset shift. All right, so the jump from advanced to expert, bro, that's the biggest leap in the game. Oh God, why? Because a single common infected hit on expert deals 20 damage, 10 from behind. You get hit once, you're basically cooked. This means the game ain't forgiving you for being out of pocket. You gotta play smarter, more strategic. That's why everyone stresses staying together and watching your teammates. It's not just about surviving, it's about taking minimal damage every single fight. This is where the concept of team economy comes in, and we're gonna be deep diving into that. Now, usually the quote efficient way to heal is to wait until someone is black and white. But on expert, you gotta know when to break that rule. Mastery in Left 4 Dead 2, especially on expert, is all about knowing when to deviate from the unwritten rules based on what's happening in front of you. And trust me, every game is different. So let's get you ready for anything the director throws your way. There's two main schools of thought in game strategy: micro and macro. Micro is what happens when you're actually in a fight, like a 1v1 with the special infected or clearing a horde. Macro is the overall game plan, your team's objective. We're gonna start with macro because it's more straightforward. Macro strategy, the big picture. Your team's main goal is to get from point A to point B, right? What's stopping you? Waves of common infected and waves of 3 special infected. Now, here's the kicker. Horde spawns and special infected spawns aren't dependent on each other. Sometimes you get one, sometimes both at the same damn time. A horde ain't just a bunch of zombies chilling. It's when most or all zombies on the map, plus new ones, rush your location. You'll hear that audio cue, no cap. The game director ain't trying to 100% wipe you from the jump. Nah, it's more subtle. Every fight, it's gonna try to take a little something from you. Ammo, maybe force you to pop a pipe bomb or pills. Ideally, your team loses no more than 60 combined damage per fight. It's not just about not dying, but about taking as little damage as humanly possible. That's team economy, y'all. Horde management and progression. Horde cooldowns, there's usually a cooldown between hordes. But listen up, chat. Hordes spawn faster if your team is slow walking. So sometimes dipping off to that side closet for pills ain't worth it if a horde's gonna spawn and make you pop those pills instantly anyway, along with wasting ammo. Boomer impact. All those horde timers go out the window when a boomer's involved. Shut that dude down ASAP. They're deadly during a horde, right after a horde, or during a tank fight. No cap. Max commons on map. There's a max number of common infected on the map at any given time. So if you're at an event like the Dark Carnival roller coaster and a horde spawns right as you hit the button, it's more efficient to just push the button and start the event. You ain't gonna fight 2 giga hordes at once, bruh. The game will just use the existing commons. Context is key, but most times just start the event. Micro strategy in the thick of it. All right, now to the nitty gritty micro strategy. This is where things get wild because so much can go sideways depending on where you're fighting, your team's health, and what special infected are on your ass. My two main principles: minimize damage. Make sure your team takes as little damage as possible. Maximize kill. Kill as many zombies as possible. Minimizing damage ain't just about killing zombies. It's about shutting down special infected. Always try to keep your teammates in vision. Special infected always make a noise before attacking, so direct your attention to that sound or to your teammates. All zombies want to get to you, so watching your team helps you find what you're looking for. This lets you get in position to save your teammate without them taking any damage. Shoving is your best friend. No cap. Shoving is a core mechanic. Whether you're saving a teammate from a special or common infected, or just creating space for yourself, mastering the 180 shove is huge. Bullet penetration and throwables. A lot of weapons in this game have crazy bullet penetration. So line them up, get them funneled into a choke point, or stand on a ledge. Throwables are also clutch. Utility, your get out of jail free cards. Let's talk about the throwables, y'all. They're all amazing, but they serve different purposes. Ideally, your team has at least one of each. Boomer Bile, the GOAT. This is your ultimate get out of jail free card. That 15-second crowd control is insane for running events or resetting a fight, letting your team heal, reload, and regroup. Now, it does spawn more infected if there ain't many on the map, so don't just chuck it willy-nilly, and it don't override Boomer Bile, but if you can kill the infected around it before it wears off, you're golden. Pipe bomb, boomer counter. Pipe bombs are the counter to boomers. The explosion firepower is also great for clearing out rooms or open areas to prevent flanks. If you throw it at a horde, they'll 180 and run back to it, which is clutch. Just don't throw it too far or they won't reach it. And real talk, if someone else throws a pipe bomb, don't be that guy who steals their kills. Molotov, choke point king. Molotovs and gas cans are amazing for blocking off corridors or burning down tanks and witches. On Expert, fire hurts, so be careful not to cook your own team. Fire damage stacks, so 2 sources of fire means double damage while they overlap. Special ammo. Spice up your life? Special ammo ain't mandatory, but they're definitely a game changer. Explosive bullets? These can friendly fire you and your teammates, and you can't put them on shotguns if you want to use it for traditional shotgun purposes. But slap it on an assault rifle or SMG, and you can stumble special infected like chargers, jockeys, hunters, and smokers with one click. They melt hordes from afar and are clutch for saving teammates. Just be mindful of that friendly fire, especially with the SCAR, incendiary bullets. These basically turn all your weapons into one-hit kills, which is dope, but they don't offer the same clutch save utility as explosive bullets. And sometimes, the fire just blocks your vision, which can be annoying as hell. They're decent for tank fights, but not as impactful as explosive bullets. Melee weapons, close quarters combat. Honestly, I don't prioritize melee weapons as much as some OGs. If you get in-cap, that standard pistol is pretty much useless, but hey, to each their own. If you're a melee fiend and rarely go down, more power to you. They're amazing for holding corners of hallways and saving ammo. Key things to look for in a melee weapon. Screen swipe. Does it swipe across your whole screen or just directly in front of you? Whole screen is usually better for horde clear. Swing speed. Faster is generally better. Sharp or blunt. Sharp objects can cut a smoker's tongue, blunt objects cannot. More blood on screen with sharp objects, but if that's the only thing stopping your run, you probably got bigger problems. Here's my quick take, no tears, just rank. Katana. Fast, full screen swipe, sharp, fantastic. Golf club, very fast, full screen, not sharp, but still damn good. Machete, fast, sharp, but smaller swipe, still very good. Axe/bat, a bit slower, but sharp axe and full screen. Chainsaw, cooked if you get caught reloaded, but a beast for frontlining. Gas limit is a drawback. Cricket bat, baseball bat, guitar, decent all around, good screen coverage. Tonfa, fastest melee but short range and poor hit detection. Risky, shovel, pan, crowbar, okay, but not top tier. Pan makes funny noise though, so that's a plus. Knife, small range, very limited. Pitchfork, slow small hit then a wider third hit. Not great. Auxiliary weapons, but when you want to have fun. M60, for the 150 bullets you get, this is the absolute best weapon in the game. It shreds everything. Got that accuracy and penetration. Only drawback is you can't refill ammo. Grenade launcher, fun weapon but not super flexible. Good for shooting into bunched up hordes from a distance or for tank fight. Can't friendly fire easily, so be careful. It's for fun, no cap. Pistols, your last resort unless it's the Deagle. Desert Eagle, the most reliable secondary weapon. Can be used at all ranges. Most importantly, it's accurate and penetrates infected even when you're in cap. This thing saves lives, oh God. Dual pistol, fun when you're standing, but pretty unreliable when in cap. Slower fire rate, less damage, inaccurate, needs a buff if you ask me. Standard pistol, just a basic sidearm, not great, needs a lot of shots for a kill, and even worse when in cap. Health economy is key. Med kits and defibrillators. Pretty straightforward. Debate exists whether to kill a teammate and defib them instead of using a med kit. My take? Use med kits first. Defibs are for when you really need them, or when someone is black and white and no other med kits are around. An alive teammate can fight. A dead body can't. Sometimes, if your team is about to run an event and one person is black and white and you have a defib, absolutely use that sucker. Give them that kiss of life and make the run. If your team is all green with med kits and you're at 25 health with a med kit and see a defib, just heal up and take the defib for later. In Expert Campaign and Realism, killing and defibbing a teammate as a de facto medkit is viable due to friendly fire being painful. However, in Versus, it takes too long to in-cap a teammate and revive them, giving the enemy team too much time. Defibs are typically used when someone legitimately dies in Versus. In Campaign, medkits bringing you up to at least 80 health are generally prioritized over a defib's flat 50 health. Players in Campaign also understand that smart healing prevents death, so defibs might be picked up and then left behind in safe houses. There's an argument in Campaign and Realism for someone at 49 health or below to ask to be killed and revived by a defib to gain permanent health without using a med kit, which is the most efficient. Most people prefer to just heal and take the defib later, not wanting to bother others or risk what could happen in those few seconds. If a teammate dies near a respawn closet, you might decide to wait for the closet to save the defib, but you'll have to hold off a horde and special infected in the meantime. They might also want the defib to keep their secondary weapon. Killing a teammate in the safe house so they start the next chapter with 50 health is a cheesy heal, but they lose their secondary weapon. Only do this if they ask. Most people don't want to trade their Desert Eagle for 29 health. Safe houses are also good for killing and defibbing to save medkits while keeping secondary. Pain pills and adrenaline pills. Use these for a general sustain. They recover less health overall compared to medkits, but are great for quick boosts. Adrenaline. Save these for clutch situations. They give you a temporary speed boost and faster revives. Perfect for getting out of sticky situations or pushing through events. If you're at 60 health or below, have adrenaline and find pills, consume the pills first, then pick up the adrenaline again. Using adrenaline for basic sustain wastes its clutch benefits. Pills should generally go to lower health teammates, while adrenaline can be given to higher health teammates, especially if they don't have a med kit. Anyone around 50 health or lower is a good candidate for pills and adrenaline. Dealing with special infected is critical. Here's a quick rundown of who to prioritize. Boomer, shut down ASAP. They mess with horde timers and can spawn hordes, shoot them from range or melee them back. They die easily. If a teammate is boomed, infected won't aggro to you, so you can thin them out. Hunter, high priority, especially when they pounce on someone. Their damage is absurd. Melee them off your teammates or shoot them out of the air. Explosive bullets are clutch here. Smoker, high priority, especially if they snare a teammate. They can encap quickly. You can melee the smoker, melee the teammate, damage the tongue, or use explosive bullets to free someone. If their tongue is on cooldown, you can ignore them for a bit. Sharp melee weapons can cut their tongue. Jockey, high priority. They ride teammates and deal fast damage. Melee them or use explosive bullets. Deceptively tanky, they have no telegraph for their jump. Charger, high priority from a distance, especially when grouped. If they're pummeling someone, they're actually one of the lowest priorities, believe it or not. You gotta invest a lot to free a teammate from a pummel, and explosive bullets are best here. Chargers are tanky and mobile, but can get stuck on geometry. Spitter, low priority unless your team is grouped up in a tight choke point. Her acid forces repositioning and can split your team. Shoot her from long range, she's squishy. Witch, highest priority if she's aggroed onto someone. If things go sideways, survivors might just have to let her kill that teammate and focus on other threats. Avoid her if possible. Crowning with a shotgun is usually the way, or fire. Snipers can headshot a sitting witch to stumble her. In realism, you can even close a door on her. Tank, ideally the lowest priority until all other threats are dealt with. A tank by itself is spooky, but a tank after a boomer pukes on you is a death sentence. Kite him with fire. Use tight corners and ledges to your advantage. Assault rifles have the fastest time to kill against tanks. No headshot multiplier on tanks, so don't stress about that. 2 Molotovs make him burn twice as fast while overlapping. Boomer bile on tanks is generally not recommended unless there's already a Horde event happening. Positioning where to be, who to protect. Your primary weapon dictates your position. On guard. Shotguns up front, snipers in the back, SMGs and assault rifles in between. Shotguns, frontline. You're the shield, y'all. You determine where the team fights, choke points. Crouch in doorways, let your team shoot over you. You can also stand next to the doorway to control infected with shoves. Open areas. Find where the biggest chunk of infected are coming from and shut them down. Back up near your backline so they can shoot over you, minimizing flank angles. Special infected. Auto shotguns can hit specials from range, but it eats ammo. Get your melee timings down for jockeys and hunters. Chargers, you're the best equipped to clean them up once they're close and done charging. You can kite tanks, but it's risky due to close proximity. Witches, every shotgun except the chrome can crown. Standing witches are easy. Sitting witches, wait for them to stand, aim for the mouth area. Reloading, reload after every shot, no cap, and weave your melees while reloading to buy time. Running events, a full shotgun can buy your team a ton of space by waiting until infected are super close before firing. 2 steps forward, 1 step back for areas with trees or other geometry. Draw out infected, then kite back to clean them up. Avoid getting flanked. Temporary plugs. Hold choke points or hallways to plug a hole for your team to do what they need to do, like getting on the dark carnival roller coaster or juggling gas cans in the passing. Friendly fire. Shotguns deal insane friendly fire. Be careful with explosive bullets. They can hurt you and your teammates. Flick shoving is often better than flick shooting. You're the eyes, the glue. Longest range, the same bullet penetration, position and high ground is always good. Be in the spot your team can still reach if you get flanked. See as much of the fight as possible to make smart decisions and saves. Tight corridors, not your primary fight. Stay close to teammates, conserve ammo, and look behind if needed. Open areas. You gotta do more heavy lifting here. Using that bullet penetration to hit funneled infected. Flanks. If you get flanked, use shotgun strategies. Temporarily frontline, funnel infected, crouch and use smart shoves. Your secondary weapon is clutch here. Avoid open area attacks when you're surrounded. Bolt actions. Scout and op are harder due to slow fire rate. Your secondary will be your best friend. Play back no frontlining with these. Special infected. Your primary responsibility. Pick off hunters in midair. Snipers are clutch against spitters, outrange them. Boomers, smokers, they get squishier when attacking. And jockeys, weaken or eliminate before they jump. Can headshot a sitting witch to stumble her. Very serviceable against tanks and can damage tank rocks. accuracy. Maximize your accuracy. Crouching while moving is accurate. Quick stops to fire a clutch. 5. Explosive bullet. 5 bullets can mark special infected. Explosive bullets are fantastic, especially for interrupting chargers, jockeys, hunters, and smokers. You can cover front and back, fill any role. Positioning, anywhere is good. Behind a shotgun, you cover their long-range weakness and help with shove/reloads. In front of a sniper, you create a safe zone for them. Team play. Recognize when not to shoot if your shotgunner is already handling a choke point. Shoot where the pressure needs to be relieved. Protect your sniper. Hordes. Great for hordes running directly at you due to bullet penetration. Can struggle with perpendicular hordes. May need to use your secondary or reposition. Special infected. Leverage your range to damage them before they get close. Then finish them with your high DPS and magazine capacity. Kings of taking down tanks. Witches. This is your glaring weakness. Not many reliable ways to take down a witch with just an AR. You'll need adrenaline, fire, or explosive ammo. Explosive ammo. ARs and SMGs are the best at utilizing explosive ammo. One-shot common infected with splash damage and reliably cancel special infected attacks. Insane value, can even make you pass over tier 2 weapons. Just be careful with the scar and explosive bullets due to friendly fire. General tips for expert play. Level up your game bots. Bots are good turrets, but they lack decision making. They'll stick with you and have great aim, but they won't always save you from special infected. Protect them, but also know they can be used as bait sometimes. High ground, always beneficial. It limits angles infected can come from and forces them to climb, buying you time. Healing etiquette. When a bot is healing you, you can cancel it by taking out pills or adrenaline, or if you go idle. For humans, going idle also cancels it. Restarting. Don't sweat team wipes. You'll restart in safe houses more often than you hit rescue vehicles. Sometimes resetting is the best option. Tank kiting. Tanks can outrun you if you're below 40 health, but they struggle with navigating tight spaces like windows and small ledges. Use geometry to buy time. Locking players. On Steam, you can block players in the Recent Players tab, and they'll never join your Left 4 Dead 2 game again. No cap. This is essential for dealing with griefers. Item juggling. You can juggle items to move them farther from their spawn location or bring them into the next chapter. Special infected routes. Special infected often repeat their routes from previous spawns. Pay attention to where they come from. Door management. Close doors behind you after clearing a room. Infected spawning behind you will have to break through them, buying you time. Fire stacks. Fire damage stacks. 2 sources of fire on top of each other will do double damage. That's how you cook a tank, bruh. Roller coaster event. On Dark Carnival, for the roller coaster, if you stand in the center and drop a gas can just right, the fire can engulf the entire perimeter of the scaffold, preventing infected from climbing up. This saves your throwables. Team health for events. Before starting a running event like the roller coaster, it's crucial to have as many teammates as possible at running health. Don't wait until black and white if an event is imminent. Tank as a supplementary threat. The tank itself isn't always the biggest threat, especially if there are other infected. A common infected hitting you can slow you down, making you vulnerable to the tank. Prioritize clearing commons before focusing on the tank in those situations. Game pace. While it's good to go at a faster pace to prevent more waves from spawning, don't rush blindly into danger. Sometimes it's better to slow down, clear infected, and then push. Playing off teammates. Learn to recognize what your teammates are doing and adapt. Cover their weaknesses. If someone is slow, don't rush ahead and leave them to get cooked. CSGO theory. Left 4 Dead 2 is like CSGO. Everyone has access to the same tools. Be flexible. Know when to be the heavy hitter and when to play a supportive role to enable others.
Don't take it too seriously. It's just a game, y'all. No rank ladder. Don't rage or type unhelpful things. Everyone gets wiped sometimes. It's part of the game. Panic healing. Pulling out healing item forces bots to stop healing you. This can be clutch if they're trying to heal you unnecessarily. Charger boomer priority. If a charger goes in and you hear a boomer, prioritize the boomer. The boomer is a perfect follow-up, and shutting him down prevents things from going from bad to worse. Initial map sections. Areas with a lot of trees, like the beginning of Death Toll or Blood Harvest, are easy to get flanked in. Walk forward to pull infected, then kite back to deal with them safely. Post-horde grace period. After a horde, there's usually a grace period before another one spawns. Use this time to heal, regroup, and make significant progress on the map. AI director spawn. Infected won't spawn where you can see them. Bots stick close, so infected can spawn far away. If you kite back a lot, the director will spawn infected closer to your new position. Not rushing revive. If a teammate goes down, don't rush straight to them. Assess the situation first. Clear the area and ensure it's safe to revive them. Rushing can lead to you getting in-capped too. Dark areas, water. In dark areas or water where movement is slow and vision is limited, stick close to a teammate and keep your head on a swivel. Prioritize protecting the teammate who is less able to protect themselves. Witch aggro switch. If a teammate gets the witch's aggro, you can switch it to yourself by lighting her on fire. This can save her life. Bile bomb placement. If you're using a bile bomb with a Molotov, consider the infected's path. If the fire is too close to your team, throwing the bile bomb into it might cause infected to run through your team on their way to the bile, creating more harm than good. Alarm cars. You can shoot alarm cars from a long distance without triggering their alarm. On guard. And that's it, y'all. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but these tips should get you well on your way to dominating Left 4 Dead 2 on Expert and even Expert Realism. Remember, it's all about accumulating those small wins, dictating the flow of the game, and always being ready for whatever the director throws at you. If you learned something new, be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed or if you have other topics you want to hear me talk about. This been Ghost. Peace.